Hi, everybody. I'm back. I am invisible for so many years. There at one time was discussion about people who felt invisible in the spiritual community. People were saying that perhaps they had raised their vibration to a certain level that was causing them to not be seen by the crowd around them. In fact, there are even stories of people vibrating between worlds, stepping off street corners and getting hit by cars, all because, in a sense, they had almost become invisible. Anyway, thank you for being here with me today. Today I am in Inman Park. This is reminding me of many years of social isolation. There was a time when I bought a bicycle and I was all over the city, even transporting my bike on the train. And when I lived over here at Martin Luther King, which is right down the road, Inman Park train station being behind me back here, that I would ride my bike all the way from where I lived by Oakland Cemetery over to this area and then end up in little 5 Points where I like to come because there are diverse crowds of people in that area and still are to this day, all these years later. But anyway, I have been touring all the parks, and today I am in Inman Park, called Historic Inman Park. A few things that I wanted to discuss, things that have happened since. The first is the song that I began singing. There are days when I am in deep depression. Let's be honest about that. And so, here again, creating helps me to make it through. That particular night, I had been watching Netflix, a series called West Side, young people with dreams and aspirations of being a singer, and all the trials and tribulations, the pain of their life that led them to wanting to be a musical superstar. And so each episode, had me very contemplative. And it inspired me to write a couple of songs. To be honest, we can't always sing about happy things. And I am hoping that when you listen to those songs that you will perhaps see yourself or someone you know, and somehow it can be healing for all of us. But invisible, I have felt that way for many years, being socially isolated. As well, I did a production called What's Next for Me? Life or Death. The realization of living in an illusion, entrapped in a prison, and then somehow digging deep to go within yourself to find a way to get through every day is a very real thing for me. And so, again, I want to thank my mother, who is really the only person that I communicate with regularly about being conscious, who fully understands, although she is saddened by some of the things and realizations that I have. She has been the one source, a rock of inspiration in my life that keeps me going. I am here because I love my mother. There's something in the mythology about there really is only the mother and the son, the divine mother and her divine son. And I'm so thankful to have a mother on this planet who is a representative of that, along with all the other beautiful divine goddesses on this planet, who are demonstrations of courage as we wait for the re-emerging divine feminine energy to come on in. Okay? Thank you, Mother. I love you. All right. I have been watching lately Bobby Hemmitt's Matrix for a New Reality. I want to urge you to see that one as well. He stands before a crowd and just speaks so openly and honestly and freely. even when it seems people might not want to hear, because he knows how important it is for us to have these things during this time. So I'm just going to touch on a few of the things that he discussed, and hopefully you'll look into those, that series of presentations by Behemoth, Matrix for a New Reality. One thing that really caught my attention was his mention of the Moors. Now, we've learned a lot about the Moors emerging out of Kemet. I've got that presentation out there honoring the Moors, as well as the Etruscans, Romans, Greeks, who are all black people that nobody ever taught us that in history. Nobody taught us that ever. Like I said, I was in my 30s or 40s when I began learning our real history. But, how can colleges and universities consider themselves legitimate by leaving out that aspect of our history? But just learning those things gives you a new sense of pride beyond Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and slavery that can really help us traverse these horrific times that we're living in. But he talked about the Moors in that presentation. Please check that out. Also, he talked about eclipses. I have mentioned in several presentations about when an eclipse happens, the moon blocking out the sun, there's that Vesica Pisces, which is representative of the divine feminine energy that comes in when eclipses happen, as well as millions of entities get in here. And they are lining the coasts. They are responsible for the mold, the black waters, hurricanes, volcanoes, all manner of other spiritual phenomena that are here reshaping things. So the Divine Mother is raging back in. But he speaks about that. And he talks about how we are being distracted by the government and by organizations like the Illuminati to keep us unaware of those important times and the rituals that we might perform if we are aware of them, because they do signify in a holograph outside ourselves what is happening inside us. So inviting our ancestors and entities which go inside us after death is a very positive thing that I believe can strengthen us. So look into that. Bobby Hemmett, A New Matrix for Reality. Something to that effect. If you type that in the search engine, it's sure to come up. I hope that you all are really studying, using your altar, speaking to the people down the street, and taking what is happening here very seriously. You know, we do have a mission for being here. And it is not ever to think that it is about creating a new world for ourselves here. We can clearly see the pattern that is not supposed to happen. We are supposed to get angry and do what we can to end this illusion. Okay? So, do keep those in mind. We are in a process of spiritual alchemy and transformation, and we are at our lowest. He spoke about, in the New Matrix, about how many of our leaders have been murdered, poisoned, mysteriously found dead, killed, and how even our own people, because we are in such a low state, sell out their own people. Don't even make me go into Magic Johnson and the disdain that I have for him, and how that dramatically impacted the black community with the bogus HIV situation that he sold out to. But there are others in all manner of organizations who have sold out the leaders and led to their death. This is a process of putrefaction. We can't get any lower. So, creating in our own consciousness that things can get better, that they are getting better. We may not be aware of it, but the Divine Mother is raging back in. And hopefully we'll be a part of that twinkling of an eye experience, which keeps me going daily. Because I do want to exact revenge. I do want to vindicate all my slain beloveds. And I do want to return to the underworld. Please do continue daily to listen to the Impromptu Nebthet musical. It does keep me alive. I want to remind you also of my book, the only source of income that I have these days. There is no HIV, the Rainbow Warrior, exposing the truth about HIV antibody testing and the metaphysics of self-healing through chakra and kundalini awareness, available online at booksellers. Please check out my book. Please put it in your phone or on your laptop. Damian Laster Conscious Doctor YouTube channel playlist. There are about 250 presentations. They're all about bogus HIV, all the manner of metaphysics teachings I've done, all the interviews that I've had, and all the songs that I've created to inspire you. And every day it puts me in a mood to know that I can get through the day. Please see the latest, Invisible, as well as what's next for me, life or death. I am Dr. Damian Q. Laster, the Rainbow Warrior Conscious Doctor, busting up bogus HIV worldwide, healing the sacral chakra. Metaphysics is the science of our ancestors, found on the walls of the Temple of Blue Sword, the Temple of Light. I love you. Have a great day.